Welcome to the Poundcast. We have a great episode with our friend Zed Cutsinger. Welcome to the show, Brent. Welcome, Brent. Welcome to the show.
Actually, I got an idea. Check this out.
What do you got?
I mean, this is video only, but
this is video only. We have
video only. I'm sorry, but here, put your hand like coming out.
These are mirror image, so this might not work. There we go.
I don't know how this is.
Either way, I'm shaking hand.
I don't know. Something's going on. I don't know. All right, sorry.
All right, welcome to the Poundcast. We have a great episode today. We talk about movies.
We talk about
poo and penises.
There's so much. This is a good episode. I really enjoyed this episode. This is really good.
Yeah, we are recording this intro after we just had a really fun time with Zed Cutsinger. But today's episode is sponsored by our favorite jerky, Louisville Vegan Jerky. LouisvilleVeganFoods.com is where you want to go to support the Poundcast and to support your stomach when it's looking for something delicious. And
you want something that stinks.
You want something that stinks, and you know what we mean by stink. We're reimagining what stinky means. Stinky means good.
It means good.
It means really good.
I mean, look, I know that you guys don't get that yet, but you will get that. So don't worry, you'll get that after this episode.
So if you want to support the Poundcast, there's a couple things you can do. You can go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com, use the code word Poundcast, and you can get 20% off, 20% off on their world famous jerky that comes in many different flavors. They got toppings. And it is hand-bagged in the United States, as you know, and it does have a shelf life of 9 months, Brent.
That's so good.
It's so good. I have so many it's so good.
Dude, that's so good.
It's so good. LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Use the code word Poundcast. Support the Poundcast and get a special, delicious treat. And the holidays are coming up, huh?
You can stocking stuffers.
These are great stocking stuffers, and if you get them now, get these stuffers out of the way. You don't have to worry about Black Friday. You got your stuffers already, and they're going to be good because they're a 9-month shelf life. And that is even if they're in a stocking, that's still 9 months. It doesn't have to be a shelf.
I just realized something. Stocking stuffers, they don't even need to be stocking stuffers. You can stuff these anywhere. You can stuff them in your undies. Whether you're a man or a woman, you want to look heavier down there, in the package.
LouisvilleVeganFoods.com and use the code word Poundcast.
You can stuff that in there. It's an underwear stuffer too, if you want.
And you know what? Halloween's coming up. You want a costume? You want to dress up as Trump or something? You could get like a big suit, get a bunch of those bags, stuff it in. They're good for stuffing. And they're good for eating, and you can eat them later. You can make a costume by filling out your pants with bags. Then you can just eat the bags later, and it's a win-win.
It's that easy.
It's that easy.
Another thing you do,
what are you gonna say, Brent?
Well, I was gonna say another thing you could do, and I really highly recommend you should do this, is if you want to hear bonus content, extended episodes. Is that what you were gonna say?
I was about to say, you took the words out of my mouth.
Dude, I took it right out. You go to patreon.com/Legacy Music Hour, and you get a whole nother hour, basically. It's usually
of
like
Legacy Music Hour.
Did I say that?
You just said Legacy Music Hour.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Well, you know what? That's Brent's other podcast. You can do that too. But if you want to support this one, you got to go to patreon.com/Poundcast for that.
It's so crazy. I got that mixed up. Sorry about that. Poundcast. Go there, and you get up to usually it's like an hour, it seems like, right, of bonus episode. And I'm telling you, this one on this episode, I just realized that whole stink thing, you're not going to know what that means unless you do go on the Patreon. So, because we talked about it on the Patreon, I think.
Yeah, but they understand.
Look, I'll tell you this. It's funny. Yours right now for this intro, my screen got darker. Yours got really light, actually.
Because I pulled up the remix and it's on a white screen. Watch this. Back to normal. There we go.
But mine's dark though. But anyway, the After Dark got really funny on this. I mean, I was cracking up, man. They had me cracking. You got it. I mean, were we not cracking?
Maybe we should put this out as check.
Well, no. Here's what we'll do. We'll put out maybe a clip from the After Dark, just like a highlight clip, maybe out on YouTube. But
we'll talk about that later. But look,
yeah,
just throw us a couple bucks a month and you can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Patreon.com/Poundcast.
But if you want to see it, and there's some pretty funny visuals on this one too, the tier is a little higher. But look, I'm telling you, it's funny. Plus, try it out for a month, and if you don't like it, spit it out. You know?
Yeah, it's the least you can do for all the content we've been delivering week after week, year after year.
I tell you though, it's funny, man. I'm not trying to hype it up, but dude, I was cracking up, and the visuals are really funny, man. There's some funny faces.
It's a good one. So go to patreon.com/Poundcast. And I think that's about it. Should we just get right into it with Zed Cutsinger?
Let's get right into it, I think, yeah.
But first, we have a remix from Bouncy Boy 808. Check him out on SoundCloud, Bouncy Boy 808. And this is his remix. And of course, our Patreon pimples have been making remixes of our theme song because we put up the stems on Patreon. That's another fun thing with Patreon. So become part of the community and have some fun.
Oh, and also you get access to the Discord. You get access to the Discord too.
That's true.
You can
really get on the Discord.
You can.
Are you getting on that Discord, Brent? You been on that cord?
I'm not so familiar with how it all works, but I took a quick peek at one point.
I'm on the Poundcast Discord right now. We got general guest suggestions, questions for Doug and Brent. Let's go to a question right now.
Okay.
Doug, did you enjoy Hereditary? I ordered that Ass to Dad shirt. Can't wait to show it off during Zoom meetings at work. He's talking about my merch. If you go to dougpound.bigcartel.com, you can get an Ass to Dad shirt.
Let me ask you that question.
Did I enjoy? Me and Brent watched Hereditary, and I think we've discussed this on the show before.
We were in the movie theater holding each other's crotches. We were.
I would say I liked it. I loved his other movie way more.
Midsummer.
I like that one way more. Hereditary was fine.
No, we enjoyed
the ending. I didn't love. I think it. I didn't. It didn't. The ending was disappointing. But we met some random people out on the sidewalk, and we were all talking about it. That was fun. That's what I remember about it. That's what I remember about Hereditary. No one ever said, "Hey, what's your name?" By the way, we just talked about the movie for like 20 minutes with these strangers, and then it was like, "Okay, bye."
That was cool, man.
As if we were all best friends. It was like this group of like.
It was like 4 people or something.
I mean, was it 4? Okay.
Oh, no. Maybe it was 5. Maybe 5 people that were out there.
And then we just jumped in. We're like, yeah, right. And then we just all talking about it as if we were all best friends.
I know, that was so funny.
And then we just were like, okay. It wasn't like, oh, what's your name, by the way?
Right.
Didn't do any of that.
It was kind of cool, though. I liked that. I thought that was a cool experience, All
right, let's get into it. We're going to talk about movies, poo, and penises. We're not
even really going to talk about movies that much. We talk about a lot of stuff.
I know, but it'd be funny if we're like, we're going to talk about movies, poo, and penises with Zed Cutsinger. Let's go.
It's a good episode. Check it out.
Peace.
Got a pound. Got a Poundcast. My Poundcast.
Welcome to the
Poundcast. Got a
Poundcast.
Poundcast.
Welcome to the Poundcast, Zed.
It feels good. Feels good to be in the pound, the cast.
When you go to Australia, do people think your name is just like Z?
I've actually wondered a lot about, things like in Britain, in Australia, my name. And I guess the most common thing I'm wondering is in Australia, do they say ZZ Top?
Right.
Which unfortunately, I don't think they do. But I haven't been to Australia yet.
Well, I've been to New Zealand 5 times, I think, and you listen to the radio a lot because you're in like Ubers and stuff, and they're always going .nz.
Wait,
.nz.
Wait, Doug.
It's like New Zealand is like .nz. Like that's their websites are all .nz.
New Zealand? Don't you mean New Zedland?
That's where we are today. We are in New Zedland. Zed, you're looking cool, man. Like all my friends who are on the Zooms lately look different. Now you got a big, cool beard. I haven't seen you in a while, and you got long, cool hair.
Yeah, my hair has gotten really long. I haven't cut it for the past, I guess, 6+ months. The beard's been. I've trimmed the beard a little bit, but you guys are looking trim. You guys are looking good.
Well, you know how we do it.
You know how we do it.
You know how we do it.
It's too hot. It's too hot for this.
It's too hot out here for us pimps.
For these long ass haircuts. Now I also noticed you got a little bling on your finger. What's up with that?
Oh, I got married March. I think March 8th. It was March 7th, March 8th. It was the final good weekend.
Dude, you got married on my birthday.
Oh, really?
They should do like birthday rings every time it's your birthday. You should get, you know what I mean? You should get like a new ring or something.
Yeah.
Instead of presents, like your friends get you a ring, a special ring for your birthday.
Dude, but us pimps ain't trying to wear any rings though.
Trying not to get weighed down?
Yeah, man, we're trying to keep it light, man. Us pimps trying to keep it light. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I don't wear a necklace. A lot of cool guys wear like, a little like gold rope around. That means they're like sexy,
Actually, Doug, you did have a necklace.
I did. I rocked one for about a few months. Then I just broke off because like the way I live is just so like hardcore and like
Yeah, you're so pimped out, that you had to go light,
I'm always like crawling through bushes and like climbing up stuff. It just gets with my lifestyle, I can't have any rings or necklaces. It'll just get ripped off my body.
What's interesting, when I saw Doug wearing a necklace and a sweatshirt,
You thought I looked kind of sexy though. You were like, he's kind of.
Well, I thought you looked like Marky Mark or something.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. With my Calvins.
Yeah, were you wearing underwear?
I gotta, what else? A lot of like guys that wear like a little gold chain, like guys that are like trying to be sexy for the girls. They always have Calvin Klein underwear, and you can always read the label. It's always sticking up just above, not like saggy pants, but you can just read that they always have it like showing, so you can see that they're wearing Calvins.
Like in middle school when people had was it Joe Boxer? They had like the boxers kind of sticking out, and so you could see it. Remember that?
Right.
There was like that transition between underwear and boxers, and when the kids were doing the boxers, they wanted to make sure everyone knew that they were wearing boxers.
I'm rocking the BVDs, you know that.
Me, I go Fruit of the Loom, you know what I mean? I always been Fruit of the Loom, and I say true to the loom.
I'm a Uniqlo man.
Uniqlo.
Oh, I got some Uniqlos. I actually don't rock BVDs. That's just like, that was the brand at like Kohl's, I think, when I was like in high school or something.
Yeah.
Like the cheap generic brand, but I have these ones that I found called silk skins. I can show you right now.
Yeah, please.
Look at this Marky Mark looking guy right here.
Yeah,
This is a
wow,
video
pulling them
exclusive.
up. Man, but those are the kind that someone could pull over your head.
They're like super light. Like
Light.
they're just like, they weigh like nothing.
My underwear is I have ramskin underwear.
Ramskin?
I have lambskin underwear.
Lambskin.
I think they've proven that lambskin underwear actually isn't effective.
Oh well, I also use the latex underwear as well. So
I mean, not to be too depressing, but when my dad passed away, I didn't really get much from him, but I got like a box of underwear.
Really?
Yeah, and so like, if you wear underwear long enough, they start to like fray a little bit and get holes. And the underwear that I got from my dad, who maybe passed away like, I want to say around 4 years ago now, it's starting to fray, and I'm like, I'm at that point where I got to get new underwear and toss daddy's wear out.
Wait a second. You're wearing them?
Right now, I think I might be wearing one of his pairs. Yeah.
And what kind of underwear is it? Let me see that
They
dad
were,
underwear.
They were like Gap.
Oh,
Gap
cool.
boxer briefs. He had like, so he had like a.
Wait, what else is under there? Let me get a look.
I got.
No, don't do it. This is
Okay.
PG. This is
All
PG.
right. There's a lot of pubes, I'll tell you that.
I thought you were about to like just pull out your penis and say, "Well, there's a penis in here," and
I got some penis. I got some testicles. There's like, those are located within this the sack thing, and
Yeah. And I guess my dad left me those too, you know?
And
We got
then
this treasure trail right above here.
semen comes out of the penis. If it gets warmed up and then it just busts out.
If it gets warmed up?
And then you say these are the fruits of my loom.
Oh man, they should have been fruit of the loom because you are the fruit of his loin, fruit of the loin.
The fruit of the loin underwear.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you wear your dad's underwear. So you're down with that. Your dad's penis and everything was in there. I know it's been washed, but I mean, or maybe it hasn't. But it was. Does that feel weird that even though it had been washed, most likely,
Yeah.
that just days and days and years maybe of your dad's sort of private parts were in there. Like, do you like, is there a sense of comfort having your own genitals in the same place that your dad had them, like as a thing to remember him by and stuff?
Well, now that I didn't, it's so funny. I didn't really think about his penis as much as maybe I should have. But my dad had like a really banging dick. So like, I just remember as a kid, like it was really big. And I think that maybe affected the way that I thought like an average sized penis was. And so now that I'm wearing it and thinking about what was in it, like I actually feel like honored to share with such like a rocking thing.
Now let me ask you this. Well, first of all, we got to get into who you are, but obviously you're our friend. But
Because you have a big penis.
Brent and I did a pilot for MTV. What was that show called? We didn't come up with a name. We just
it was called
directed.
It was called now I can't. Oh no, it was called F It Fest.
Yeah, it was supposed to be called Fuck It Fest, but it was like all blanked out, and it was just like
censored,
just like a weird show of like little shorts. And we had a thing where like we lined up these gals, and we showed them dick pics. Oh no.
No, it was guys. We lined up guys.
No, we lined up guys, and then we had a bunch of dick pics, and then we lined up a bunch of other, and then we lined up you and then some other guys. No, we lined up one dick pic. It was
one
like whose dick belongs, match the dick to the dude.
Yeah.
And it was like your penis, which is a pretty impressive penis. So was your dad's? Would you say you fill out your dad's underwear pretty well?
I mean, I wish this could have been done and it wouldn't be weird, but I would love if everyone at some point could press their penis next to their dad's and see which was actually, because that'd be kind of cool to actually see how similar they are and which is bigger and kind of just like know for sure. But I think maybe people wouldn't be into that.
But you would, right?
If there was no judgment on it, I would be 100% down. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Well, you were very close with your dad.
Yes, we were very. It's weird. We had like, we had our falling outs when I was younger, but there was like a certain age where I just kind of became, I don't know, self-aware. Where I was like, he's gonna die one day. I don't know what's gonna happen. So like, why not just be friends with this guy and kind of just make the most out of the time?
So why not just press my penis up against his penis, to see which one is bigger?
Well, I think it sucks knowing that if anyone says like who had a bigger penis between you and your father, like you could say, I think, you could have a lot of thoughts, but it would be cool to have a definitive answer.
I mean, yeah, but also you don't want to be bigger or smaller than your dad. You don't want that to be a factor in how you judge each other. You want to like love each other for the person, not for the penis.
Oh, so
what are you, a size queen all of a sudden?
No, but I think knowing, like, if I knew that it was bigger than my dad's, it would definitely affect our relationship for sure.
Why? You would be kind of like, oh, I can stand up to him a little bit.
You would be like, I'm the dad now.
Yeah. I think there would definitely be like a shift in father status or daddy status.
Can you share what kind of falling outs, what were they about?
He was just like, he was very abusive, like, when I was younger, to myself. This isn't funny. My sister, myself, and my mom. And there was like a point where I was like, I don't think I ever want to talk to this guy again. And then there was like a point where I felt like he was working on becoming better. And, there's this whole like generational shift. I think the way, people deal with kids my dad was born in the 40s. So it was just all this stuff where I was like, I think he is trying to become better, and I think he worked on a lot of stuff with my mom, and I was like, me kind of removing it from my life, that's not going to make him better.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You did the right thing, I think. You were the bigger man, actually. No,
You were the bigger dick.
Yeah, so I think
say
my dick was bigger in that sense.
You were the bigger penis after all.
were you like, Dad, let's bury the hatchet and let's unfurl the dick?
Well, I think also I think I was very aware of his penis also because did you guys ever cross streams when you were kids with other people?
Of course.
Not with my dad, but I think I must have, yeah.
I think I crossed streams with my dad at I should say the abuse there was nothing sexual in it. So that's important to say. But yeah, I think we crossed streams like I think even as an adult, there was a point where I was like, hey, do you want to cross streams? And he's like, sure. And we did it.
And your swords are like clinging against each other?
They never touched.
I used to cross. You ever cross logs when you were a kid?
What is that? I know there's different regional terms. Like what is crossing logs?
Oh, that's just like you both got to go poo. So you're like, you want to cross some logs?
I did not do that, but like, what is the logistics? Is like someone sitting on someone's lap?
Well, you
get butt to butt. You
kind
go
of like,
side by
okay,
side.
here's the toilet bowl. You're forming a triangle where two butts are coming like in on it from above.
You form a diamond, I think.
Well, yeah. Well, if the top of the thing was flat, then you're forming a triangle. Here's the two butts up top, and then the logs cross.
Oh, I was thinking since the logs cross and then the butts are kind of at sort of 45-degree angles, that sort of you're creating a diamond in a sense because like the butts, basically each pair of butt is a line. So if they're side by side at the top, but then kind of going at a 45-degree angle, logs are shooting out at 45-degree angles, crossing, creating a diamond, I think.
I guess it also depends on what you ate, right? Because I would say generally when I go to the bathroom, it doesn't like shoot out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you both have to kind of be like, when you got to go poo and then you're out and about and you can't really do it. You have to both be at that point where like you're ready to, as soon as you get in the door, logs are going to come out like Play-Doh, a Play-Doh machine.
You got to practice, you got to practice.
You have to edge. You have to like build, you have to edge. Is that like a...
Right. Like you got to go and then you go for a walk real quick and it kind of like swims up. It swims back up and then it like an hour later it's ready to come again and you're like, no, one more walk, go around the block, kind of like get the body, don't be sitting down. And then an hour after that it's ready to go. It's
right.
Like,
it's not up there. It's right on the edge. It's just like,
it's on the edge.
It's in purgatory. It's like, it's kind of like that in between room, right?
It's prairie dogging. You know about that?
Yes.
But dude, the thing is people might think that we're kind of joking about Zed and stuff, but you were so close to your dad, and you sent your dad pictures of your penis and stuff, right?
I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay.
Wait,
so
you're sending your dad dick pics?
I thought it was funny. Also, I should say that like I had the type of relationships with my friends where like we would send each other dick pics because we thought it was fun. Like. I feel like this changed a lot because of, what's been going on. But there was like a period, it's like, dicks are funny.
No, and they always will be.
Yeah, well, anyways, I think there was a period where I would just send a picture of my dick to like my guy friends and whatever. We thought it was funny. And I feel like I did that to my dad. And I was like, oh, sorry, I meant to send this to someone else. And I thought it was very funny. But he also called it like, he was kind of mad when he knew people had seen my penis because he called it a family secret.
It's a family jewels, man.
Yeah. So,
well, I mean, you have a photo. If I had your penis, I would probably be more open to sending it out because it's very photogenic, and mine is more of like, I don't know. It's not going to be like featured in a.
I have pictures of
in Penis Monthly or something. It's not going to make the cover of Penis Monthly.
Penis Monthly. It's like only month. It's like there's only enough penises to do monthly, like as if you couldn't do weekly,
Well, I was gonna say obviously there is a weekly rag. I don't know of the monthly one, but yeah, there is Penis Weekly, which I recommend it if you guys don't.
By the way, my penis is great. It works fine. I'm just saying yours is very photogenic. It's Penis Monthly cover material.
Man, I have pictures of Zed's penis on my computer, I think. Because
let's do a screen share for the
Well,
listeners.
I mean, I wish we could, but there's some interesting shots. I mean, there's a shot of Zed like from down below, like looking up. It's very artistic. That's a
Yeah,
classic.
when I
And
was
then there's another
single,
one where he's
yeah.
just wearing his regular clothes, but his penis is out. You know?
Oh, and then there was one, I don't know if you remember this, where the picture was, I had the picture of my penis on my phone, and I just had, because it was like the iPhones were, getting bigger, and I had the iPhone like of my penis over my pants. Do you
Right.
remember that one?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah.
I thought
Right.
that
It
was
was
kind of funny.
right. It's like his penis on the phone, but it's like on his over his pants. So it's like that's pretty inventive. You know? That's pretty inventive.
So Zed, your full name is Zedediah?
Zedariah.
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 Yeah.
And who are you?
Uh,
Now, I met you through Brent, I think, right? Brent and maybe Andrew?
I
yeah.
met Zed through Andrew.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
He's a writer, you know. He's a writer.
Yeah, let's just get a
And
little background here. Like, where are you from?
Yeah, I grew up in the Bay Area. I was always just kind of weird, but I didn't really know that comedy was something you could pursue. So I was just kind of like a, class clown, whatever, doing my thing. Then eventually I moved to New York City, where I started kind of getting involved in the comedy world. Since then, yeah, I've been just very enamored in comedy in all the different ways. Like, yeah, I would consider myself like, I guess, a writer, but I'm very driven by my hobbies, which are like movie watching, Magic the Gathering, and I guess friendship.
penis stuff, maybe.
And
So
penis
Yeah,
stuff.
I've
Yeah.
I've heard you on a few podcasts. I think I do listen to the male gaze one.
Yeah, I have a couple so yeah, podcasting. Yeah,
That's
that
why
sort of stuff.
I said, Brent, we got to get Zed. We got to get Zed on the show. He's great.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. So
he's got
what podcasts do you do?
So yeah, there's the Male Gaze, which is Brody Reed, Steve Hernandez, Alan Strickland Williams. It's like a weekly like news roundup, but we try to kind of have like a horny tinge on it a little bit. But the problem is just lately the news has been less horny, so it's been less tinge. And beyond that, I have this other podcast called Views from the Vista with Steve Hernandez and my wife, Honor Nezo, where we used to see every movie that was playing at the Vista, which those who don't live in Los Angeles, it's like a one-screen theater, just my favorite movie theater ever. We'd see what was playing there, and then we would discuss it. Now we kind of just arbitrarily pick movies that we want to watch because the theater isn't open.
How many movies do you watch like a week?
I would say between 10 and like 15 right now. Like this year, because it keeps
Damn, that's a lot.
I've seen over 300. I've seen 366 movies this year so far.
And
How many?
I know you used to work at Masa. I remember seeing you there, right?
Yeah.
Do you still work there?
Yeah, I'm still there. We're just doing takeout right now.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so I'm still there. I'm working, obviously not as much as I used to, but yeah, when I'm not there, I'm usually indoors, and it seems like the best indoor activity right now is movie watching.
Yeah. Well, I ask about your job because I know you were working at a restaurant, and just wondering how you're getting by, but I guess you're working, so that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
If anyone's in Echo Park and they want a Chicago-style deep dish pizza, hit up Zed.
yeah, DM me on a social and order
DM
your
Zed.
do your
Yeah.
order there, and yeah, we'll make it work. Are you from Chicago?
Yeah. Well, I'm
Okay.
from in the suburbs, and then I lived in the city.
So you're all about that Chi-Town deep dish pizza.
Yeah, but I'm not even all about that, I don't even like that style. It's like, it's not the best style of pizza.
You're more into that Boston style, you know, Marky Mark style, right?
I barely even eat pizza anymore, but I love pizza.
You like that Boston style.
You know what I
dude.
like though, is I like right down the street from you is Sage, the vegan place. Those pizzas are like amazing.
I used to work there. It was like my first job when I moved to LA.
So you say you got into comedy and stuff in New York, but I never known you to do like stand up. Do you ever perform stand up?
I did stand up for about a year in LA because I was doing like improv and stuff out in New York. And when I came out here, I just wasn't ingrained in like whatever the improv thing was out here. So I did stand up for about a year. I was like doing, tons of open mics, like multiple a day, just like really getting into it. And then what happened was I got put on a sketch team at UCB, like their mod night thing. And I was like, I don't think I can really devote myself to stand up as much as I'd like with all the meetings we're doing with that. So I kind of got more into the writing process via that. But yeah, I guess for me, I love comedy so much. I just, stand up, podcast, doing Zooms. I just think there's so many different ways to do it. I think some people just kind of I feel like with both of you guys, you're kind of into blending different mediums with each other and kind of not doing just like a standard style of comedy. I think it's important to not just get too narrow-sided and just focus on one aspect of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I don't know.
No, I get burned out on doing any one thing at all. Like doing stand-up, I'm like sick of it after a while. Then I do something else, and then it's good to have different avenues to do your different styles of comedy. It's fun to write stuff and shoot it. I like I feel like I'm answering a question that no one asked me, but I'm just saying I agree.
Yeah, well, I was thinking the question, so I think you're reading my mind.
Well, I grew up in Los Angeles. And, eventually I moved to the Bay Area for college, and no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I guess I would say my favorite novel is The Giver, actually.
Right.
Zed, what is your...
Probably my favorite memory from when I was a teenager is probably... No, I'm just kidding.
Let's do some favorites, though, for real, though. Zed, I know a lot of people don't have favorite movies. I don't really have a favorite movie, but I could... Yeah. I mean, maybe I do. But it comes with a caveat. But do you have a favorite movie or a favorite top three or...
Yeah, easy. Number one, Terminator 2.
Number one is number two.
Yeah, number one is number two.
T2 is T2 the one with the guy that turns into like liquid steel?
Yeah, the T-1000.
Okay. The different bad guy.
It's Patrick.
Wait, Terminator 1 is this one, right?
That's actually the end of Terminator 2.
Oh, that's the end of 2. That's the end of 2 when he goes like this.
Right. The end of 2 is one thumb.
Right. Okay. I'm doing the thumbs up.
So,
the thumbs up.
So your number one. Your number one.
Spoiler alert.
2, but number 2 is actually is 1.
I mean,
that'd be cool if his hand's going down and he's like, and it goes to the peace sign, and then it freezes on the peace sign, and then it goes, and then it says Terminator 2. Like
no, it just goes like
sometimes they'll throw the title of the movie at the end, like it's a celebratory like title, like you just watched T2.
No, that's
if it goes down.
It's like this. He's going down with the thumb, and then it goes. It's a peace sign, and then it freezes, and then it just a big T comes in, and just goes next to the peace sign. So it's just like T, and then the peace sign.
The T is like slammed in with like steel, like
right. Bullet holes. It's like bullet holes in there.
The rivet holes coming down.
The full title is Terminator 2: Judgment Day. So after the freeze frame goes away and it melts, what if his hand melts and in the hot lava stuff it like actually says Judgment Day?
Well, check this out.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Check this out, though. Okay, thumb comes down, peace sign. It says T2, and then it says train spotting. Gotcha. It turns out it's actually T2 train spotting.
Train spotting, too.
Well, what Brent, to speak to what you're saying, when all the advertising for train spotting 2 is it just said T2.
Right.
And it was so funny. Because I'd be like, I thought that was so funny, Brent.
Well, that was you know that, Doug, right? Like Trainspotting 2 was advertised as T2.
I never saw that, but I remember something like that. Yeah. Were they like trying to? Was that a joke, or did they know? Was that a mistake?
I mean, they must have been aware of it, but I think they were just kind of like anything to get more. Maybe people will think this is Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 again. T2 is coming out again.
It's T2 too.
Whatever this is, just watch it. Trust us.
Yeah, it's also funny. Like I'm sure you feel because I mean, the more you get involved in something, I think it's usually harder. Like when people are insane about music, it's like, what's your favorite band or your favorite record? It's like I can't answer that.
Right.
But when you know nothing, it's really easy to have one.
Right.
but then I think then there's a level of getting into it where you're like, okay, now I'm comfortable with having a favorite. It's hard. Sometimes you ask people this and they just can't answer you.
Okay, so T2, why is it your number one?
I think it's the greatest movie of all time. It does everything that you want from a movie. It has great acting. It pushed the envelope of what an action film was at the time. The special effects, the story, the score. It's a movie that someone who's like a cinephile can watch it and maybe appreciate some of the things James Cameron was doing with it. But you could also just get a random person who maybe sees 3 movies a year and could see it and still get enjoyment out of it. I think it works just on all levels in a way where I think there's some specialized movies that might be boring to a normal person that, someone who, goes to con or something would be like, well, this movie does all these things. It's exciting. It's thought-provoking. It just does everything I think a movie could do. And not only does it do it, but it excels in its execution of it.
You got any runners up?
Yeah, I have, like, my other ones are probably Aliens. I mean, you can kind of see I love James Cameron. I love Aliens, but then it kind of gets muddled down. Like, I have.
Then it's muddled down. It's like, oh, never mind, go on.
Yeah, well, then for instance, my favorite movies of the '90s. You got Terminator 2. Clueless is like one of my favorite '90s movies. I don't know if you guys like Clueless.
They shot it at my high school.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. And in fact, I was there when they were shooting it too. And
whoa, did you try to get in on that action?
Well, I checked it out. I was checking out Alicia Silverstone. She was walking around. I saw her walk to the bathroom once. Like, she was kind of walking in such a way. You know? Did
you say, hey, you want to cross logs?
Well, also, I've read that movie. Like, the director, is it Amy Heckerling? Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, she did a lot of the research on the linguistics of the movie by going to schools. I think it would be cool if actually a lot of the language they use in the movie was actually taken from you, Brent.
She's all saying schnip. They're saying schnip and stuff like that.
Oh, schnip, pimple.
Oh, schnip. They're like, what's up, pimple? What if they were saying pimple and Clueless? That'd be so funny.
Like, that's typical Valley Girl talk or something?
What's up, my pimp laureate? And then also I saw Wallace Shawn there, and I was with my friend, and we were walking by, and because I had a free period, so we were checking out the shoot. They actually used my very classroom, my Spanish classroom, but we saw Wallace Shawn, and my friend said, "Oh, look, it's that guy," and then he looked at us and smiled.
That's awesome.
Well, no one went to my high school, and no movies were shot there, but I went to Downers Grove South, and at Downers Grove North, Macho Man Randy Savage went to high school there, and Emo Phillips went to high school there, so that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
and also they shot, I think, a school that we played against. That's where they shot Lucas.
Oh, well, you know what they
wait.
shot?
There's Lucas, and then what's the Notre Dame kid?
Rudy.
I get those mixed up. Is Lucas? Yeah, it was Lucas.
Well, they who went to my high school? Tom Selleck. Okay.
See, I mean, you're in Hollywood. It's just going to be. It's going to be a big list.
Well, even though I grew up in Hollywood, I went to high school in the Valley, and it was Ricky Rackman. Do you remember Ricky Rackman from the Headbangers Ball?
Headbangers Ball, yeah.
Yeah, and he also hosted Loveline too when it was a local show here in Los Angeles.
What's Ricky Rackman doing these days?
But and also Toto went to my high school.
The dog from Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, exactly.
The most famous person who went to my high school was Tupac.
Oh,
ever heard of him?
Of course. Wait, so you grew up in Marin?
Yeah. I went to Tamalpais High School, and yeah, it's funny. Like, if anyone
is that real quick? You're in Marin?
Yeah, just north of San Francisco.
Isn't that like more bougie kind of area?
It is. So it can be. There's definitely like
right.
I think at one point Marin was like the 3rd wealthiest county in the country.
That's why I want you to go on record right now and say that Tupac was not from the streets at all. He was from the suburbs, and he was soft.
Well, I'm not going to say that because that's not true, Doug, and I don't lie. No, he was in this area called Marin City, which is maybe like a less like an area with less money. Like my high school, there was 3 areas. There was Mill Valley, which there was a lot of money, Marin City, which was not a lot of money, and then there was Ballina Stinson Beach, which was like all of the like kind of more out there stoner kids. So it was like a very weird kind of intersection of places the students were coming from.
Intersection of the arts.
Intersection of the arts. And have you guys seen American Graffiti?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think
Modesto.
the dance sequence in the school, I think I read was shot in my high school gymnasium.
Oh yeah, and yet that's American Graffiti was meant to was modeled after Modesto, California.
Oh, really?
Well, that's where George Lucas grew up, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know they shot a lot of stuff like in Petaluma and San Rafael, and like other areas. But
When you were in high school, did you do cruising like they did in American Graffiti? In American Graffiti, the dudes just got in a cool car and started cruising the strip, and then they just start picking up chicks. Is that what you did?
no, we mostly just went to my friend Todd's place and played GoldenEye and Mario Party. But I guess you could say that's a form of cruising. Yeah, it's funny also with the cruise and stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen this, and I want to say like in some areas right outside of LA, like between Santa Monica and LA, they have signs up that say no cruising. They had
I've seen that.
They used to have cruising in Hollywood. It used to be the traffic was so heavy, and at first it was just on the weekends, but then it started happening every night of the week. But on Sunset Boulevard, this was in the 90s, I think. It was like later 90s. It just started to be like straight up cruising on Sunset Boulevard on the Sunset Strip, and it was just really slow traffic, and people, it felt like American Graffiti and stuff,
You know what they call that, right? That was cruise control. All right.
That's good, actually. This area is under cruise control. But how do they enforce that? How do they know you're not just going to the store? I guess if the cop sees you go back and forth like twice, they're like, you're cruising, you're busted.
They would mark your car with like a chalk.
Yeah. Right. Or they shoot it with like a suction cup gun. And then if they see that suction cup come back,
they know. I don't know how they would. I honestly, they would probably just be like, they would see someone who wasn't white, and they're like, "You've done this too many times."
Do you know the other term cruising? What it means?
Yeah, Al Pacino cruising, right? Like the movie.
I don't know about that, but I'm talking about like, I think it's called cruising, or cruising, where like you're in an area and you're looking to pick up a guy to like have sex like discreetly.
There's a movie with Al Pacino where he goes undercover as a cop and is trying to find a guy who is killing gay people, and so he has to pretend to be like gay, and he wears like all of the like leather stuff, and the movie's called Cruising.
There used to be cruising in Hollywood a lot, man. I used to see it.
No, but I'm talking. I just real quick because I was hiking the other day in Elysian Park, and I usually do this one loop, but then my friend was like, "Oh, we should go to this other area on this other side of the park I never go to," and he's like, "This is a cruising area." And he said when he jogs through there, a lot of guys like slow down on their car and like try to make eye contact with him, thinking he's like out there cruising, but he's just jogging. And that's where like dudes would go. You have to. I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of sad that like men have to like live this secret life where they have to go to this like big park full of trees, like a forest area, and seek each other out and then go hide in the bushes. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what goes down there, right?
I think so.
Sometimes guys would just sort of stand on the corner with kind of well dressed and have their jacket on their arm, and that would
there's probably certain signals that lets other people know that they're there to cruise. They're not just happen to be hiking.
Well, there's like the bandana stuff, like different colors, different pockets to kind of like let people know what you're into.
Yeah, but anyway, so we were hiking, and then this guy slowed his car down, and we're like, let's do it.
Is that true?
No, I'm just kidding. But one time,
Let's just do it, man.
let's do it, man.
You get in the car and he's like, "Do you guys know about diamonds?"
We got the back of the shaggin' wagon.
Yeah.
But one time, when I was a wedding videographer in the suburbs of Chicago, I went to go, video someone's wedding on a Sunday morning, and I got there early, and it was in a beautiful forest preserve area. So I was like, I don't want to sit at this church for an hour. I'm just gonna check out this forest, and just went over, parked my car. I was just sitting in my car for a minute, and then I noticed there's someone in the car parked next to me, and he looked over and he goes like flicking his tongue at me.
Yeah.
And then, I was 18 or something. I didn't even know this world existed. But I immediately knew oh, I'm in an area that is for something else, there's something happening here. And I kind of just slowly backed out and left. I don't want to, it spooked me.
Yeah, man.
Nothing against doing that. I mean, those men have to do that somewhere, but I got rattled by that. I was I'm gonna head back to the church now.
I had that kind of experience before. I think I've had the tongue thing before. But I also had a thing where I was in London, and I was 20, and I went to the bathroom somewhere, and then there was a guy who was pretending to use the urinal while I was using urinal, and he started grabbing his crotch or grabbing his penis and stuff. He wasn't peeing, and then
maybe he's trying to shake it loose a little bit.
He was just doing and then I was washing my hands, and he was trying to grab himself. I don't know. I was I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I feel like the closest I've seen to this experience was is it Sunset Park? Is that the one near the Vista, the elevated park?
No, isn't that called
Barnsdall Park?
Barnsdall,
yeah. So I was at the top, trying to look at the sunset, and in the trees, I saw a young couple where a guy was just straight up getting a blowjob from a girl or a woman or something. And I started taking pictures. I still have the pictures, but it was they were kind of a little bit hidden, but also it was and then, I grabbed her. I was like, "Hey guys, look at this." And we all kind of watched it. It was pretty humorous, but I was in the same capacity of what you're talking about, Doug, I'm they want to do this, but maybe they can't do it at their houses because they're too young.
Right. This is where teenagers go. Because don't you ever see weird condoms laying around in places where it's how did that get there? I want to know the story there.
I've only seen normal ones.
But I don't mean they're weird. I just mean they're just condoms in a weird place. Maybe I think they just get chucked out of a window or something.
Yeah. It's probably they're cruising. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's rude. Don't litter. If you're gonna cruise, don't be littering. Clean up your condoms. Clean it all up.
I think if people are people are gonna do heroin and stuff, so they have those needle things. I think there should be. It's people are gonna cruise, so let's have a safe place to put all the condoms. I guess it would be maybe a trash can.
It's kind of nasty,
right, a cigarette butt thing where they that skinny tube where you put your butts in. Put your condoms in here.
Yeah.
I remember in Hollywood, when I was a kid, there was some condom on the ground on the street where these kids lived, and there was a penny really close to the condom or maybe even on the condom, and the condom seemed used, maybe, I don't know, but this kid just picked up the penny. I thought, ew, don't touch that.
A penny?
Yeah, I was this ain't worth it. I mean, look, I guess back then it's
a lucky penny.
It was, yeah, but I mean, that's a very lucky penny if it has disease on it, I guess. Yeah. Get the HIV with that penny. Very lucky.
Very lucky penny.
I don't know if you guys remember the condom stuff that Lisa, I guess it was everyone in TLC. You remember how they used to wear condoms, kind of as an accessory?
Well, Lisa left. Did they all wear them? Because Left Eye had it on her left. Or was it her left eye that could see, or was that the one with the condom on it? I don't know.
Yes.
Wait, they did?
Or it might have just been Lisa Left Eye Lopez. I don't. My memory isn't that good on it. It kind of looked like an egg or something. It was just decoration. And I remember asking my parents, what is up with that? And they're like, oh, we'll talk about it later. It's the way they described it, it made me feel uncomfortable. So there was a period where it's funny. She was wearing it to kind of make people more comfortable with condoms, but because my parents didn't want to talk about it, it actually made me feel uncomfortable about condoms.
I thought she was just wearing it to make people more comfortable wearing condoms on their eyes.
Now, Zed, back to your underwear. Is that going to be like a family heirloom?
A family fruit of the family heirloom?
Yeah, fruit of the family heirloom. Because, it could be like, well, do you plan on ever having kids?
I don't. I have a nephew, and I could pass them on to him. But the thing is, they're already starting to fall apart. I'm gonna have to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe you should stop wearing them so they don't totally disintegrate, and every young man in generations to come could wear them for like a while, and then maybe you can get them, tailored, get them fixed up a little bit,
repaired. Yeah.
Get them reupholstered.
Get them reupholstered. Yeah.
But by the way, did anyone ever tell you? Because you said your dad had a big penis or whatever. That oh wow, you have some really big underwear to fill. Instead of shoes, That
was what my mom said when she handed me the box.
Yeah.
You got to talk to your nephew and be like, look, nephew, there's a big area to fill on these. No, let me take a look. Let me make sure before I pass these along.
No, press yours against mine. Let's take a look.
I mean,
Uncle Zed is asking me something weird, Mom.
If you did bring underwear into like one of those places, like, and you're like, can you repair these? Would they just like, you think they would get mad at you?
That'd be a fun, like, practical joke, like, hidden camera show. Like,
yeah, these were passed on to me by my father.
Well, no, but it's like, yeah, you bring it to a seamstress. It's like a holy, but then there's also like brown kind of stains on there and stuff. Like, can you fix this up?
I want to donate some clothes. I'm always bringing stuff to the thrift store, like trying to like have less clutter. So I brought a bag of like dishes and clothes and stuff, and I had underwear in there. I don't know why I thought they would accept underwear, but I thought like needy people, and these were great. They're in great shape. They were washed. They were barely ever used.
Calvin Klein.
They just didn't. I just didn't like them. They didn't fit right. And then they're like, no, we don't take that. And I felt like a creep. And I'm all of a sudden, because usually you just bring the bag and drop it off, and you're like anonymous. You're like, I'm out of here. They're like, okay, what do you got? And I'm like, oh, okay. I had to like go through my stuff. I'm like, I got this bowl, and I got this mug, and I got
these
here's
thongs.
some shirts and pants. And they're like, okay, good. You don't have any towels or anything. We don't accept that. I'm like, no towels. I go, I had some pillows, and they're like, we don't accept pillows. And I'm like, okay, like, they're like, you don't have any undergarments, do you? I'm like, I guess I do. Yeah. They're like, we don't accept that. I'm like, I'm trying to help here. Now I feel like a creep. I'm like, sorry. What am I supposed to do? I don't want these to go to waste.
Yeah, they could be reused. Also, were those under? Yeah.
Well, maybe just drop the bag off to someone on the street. Living in the tents. There are all these tents. You could just leave, just leave it outside the front door of the tent with a bow on it, and maybe the bow can be tied with some kind of old jock strap that you don't want anymore either. It could be.
I actually have an interesting story that happened the other day. I was riding my bike. I don't know where I was just heading home, right? And I saw a homeless, well, I don't know if she's homeless. I saw a woman that was like completely naked except underwear.
No kidding. Where?
Yeah, just like she kind of seemed like a street kind of person, like I don't know if she was maybe she was homeless, mentally ill, or she's homeless, or she just had that look. She was on a very dirty kind of street, kind of like an industrial street. I was cruising down. And I was on my bike, and then I saw her like on the sidewalk, kind of standing against the wall, like kind of her arms folded. She had underwear on, and that was it. And I almost like just took my shirt off and was like, do you want my shirt? But then I was like all sweaty, and I'm like, there was a thrift store down the street. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the thrift store and just get this lady some shorts and a shirt. It was like during the heat wave, the other day. Mm-hmm. So I go into the thrift store, and I'm like in the ladies section. And I'm like going through like, what would be good? Like, this shirt's cute. Then I'm like, what am I doing? I just need to get this lady clothes. Just grab anything. And I was like, what size is she? I'm like looking at like ladies' sizes are like different. You know, they're like 6, 4. I'm like, I don't know what these mean. Like men's are like, 32. It's like a size that's an actual, inch circumference of a waist. I was like, or men's are like small, medium, large. I'm like, she's maybe a medium, but they weren't those. Anyway, I was like, what am I doing? I just grabbed some shorts and a shirt. They look like kind of brand new. And then I bike down back up the street and she's gone. So then I start circling around the area with like these clothes, and I never found her. I don't know what happened to her. She just vanished. She could have been, I mean, who knows? She could have been somebody could have picked her up. She could have been like a prostitute or something.
So now are you using those clothes for yourself now instead?
Yeah,
so I'm wearing them now. No, I actually went right back to the thrift store and I go, I bought these, but I don't need them. And I just donated them back.
Oh,
and
really?
then later that night, I found $20 on the sidewalk. So karma came back to me, I think.
Also,
wow, was there a condom next to it or something?
It was on top of a condom, soiled.
Right. So
I had to peel it off.
Right.
What if this was a ploy of the thrift store, where she just walks around like that, and in hopes that people will like buy, and then she disappears,
and then she like hides away in like there's a trap door. She's just like she knows somebody saw her, and it's heading towards the thrift store. Like this is the way to drum up business. It's kind of like people that smash windows to get business going for like car auto glass or something.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if this has happened to you guys, but every time I've had like a tire issue and I bring it in, the woman at this place, she's like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the tire companies are just throwing nails around the streets of LA.
Oh, geez.
But she said the same, like she said it multiple times I've been there. And I'm like, is this just does she actually believe this? Or is this just something she says to be funny?
That's weird because it's a tire place and she's saying the same joke.
Yeah.
Wouldn't she just be like, okay, do you want a new tire?
It's also during the checkout part. Like,
but like, also, why would she say that? Because that would benefit her. Did she want you to raise suspicion on her grift?
Maybe she knows something and she can't just straight out say it.
Maybe she's like a prisoner there. She's like trying to throw out hints. Like, I know what they're doing is wrong here, and I'm gonna like give you a little hint,
And then it's like when she gives you the receipt, it says "help me" on it, like, or it says help. It just says "help," on the receipt that's written on there.
Yeah, I don't know. This isn't the same thing, but I used to have some friends who worked at like Amoeba or Rasputin in I think in Berkeley, and they said that they would do this thing where when they were checking someone out and they were like into them, you could do notes on the receipt and they would put their phone number on it.
Wow, that's interesting.
Which I guess is a cry for help.
That's interesting. Well, I guess you could do waiters and waitresses do that?
Yeah, there's like kind of a what's the word? It's a little like ambiguous whether it's okay or not, because I had a coworker in New York who he would ask people out. Like there's this one time there was a woman he wasn't waiting on.
And this was at a restaurant? In
New York City, in like Soho or whatever. It was a kind of a nice whatever. A lot of beautiful people coming in there, and he was not waiting on her. And when she went to pay, she paid with her credit card, and he walked over to the computer for the person who was like paying and wrote her name down from the credit card, and then messaged her on Facebook and was like, "Hey, I saw you at this restaurant, blah blah." Like, and she just responded and said, "Don't ever message me again."
That's creepy. Yeah, you don't want to like. Yeah.
That's hard. That's too hardcore.
I always thought a funny way to if you're like at a like a Rite Aid or a grocery store or any place that has like, are you in our rewards program?
Yeah.
Any place that has a rewards program, and you think the person that's checking you out is attractive, because they always go, "Oh, can I get your phone number?" You know how that happens a lot when you, around here, at least. They're always like, you put your number in and then you get your little points or your discount. I thought like when they put it in, after they put it in, and if you're like trying to pick them up or something, you could be like, well, you got my phone number. You put it on them. You could be like, well, you got my phone number. If you ever want to call it or text me.
And you go, hey,
you got it. They have your number, so there's no weirdness, you know?
Yeah. And you say, hey, it's funny you're checking me out because I've been checking you out.
You know, that's not...
Also, paper or plastic, and I'm talking about condoms here. Would you like lambskin or plastic? Like later on when you're it works out and you're gonna like have sex, you're like paper or plastic,
or you're like
what are you talking? Latex or lambskin?
Lambskin or latex? But now, will that be lambskin or latex? Okay, I'll bag that up for you right now. I'll bag it up for you.
Do you want me to double bag it, or did you bring your own bag? She's like, yeah, I'm Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and then she like.
Also,
she's like,
I brought my own bag. Now I'm good.
Like, you're kind of like looking for the condom down on her bottom half. She's like, the condom's up here, you know, like.
Keep your eyes up here.
Keep your eyes up here.
And also, if they're weirded out by, you can kind of go Brent style, and you're like, I'm actually talking about my underwear. Like I have lamb style underwear.
Lamb style.
Lambskin underwear.
I got lambskin underwear.
Yeah, I think giving the phone number is kind of the least. Not predatory, but it's just like you're kind of putting it out there, and it's like if you're interested, you can contact me.
Now, Zed, as someone who works in the service industry, is that what you call it?
Yeah, I'm a freak of the service.
How could someone tastefully, without ruining their ever having to never go there again, how do you meet someone that's like that works at a place that you think is attractive and you want to ask them out or something? For me, I would never even do it. I've thought about it, but I don't know. I'm too shy to even ask anybody out.
I think Brent's got something.
I was with a friend at a restaurant, and it seemed a little flirty, or I don't know. He liked the waitress's energy, and it seemed like, you know, I don't know. He just put his phone number on the receipt that he left there, and he just put his phone number on there or something like that. And I think she called it.
Well, that's a good way to do it, because then it's like, you know, it's on the other person's option to either ignore it or.
He might have put a little note or something too, you know, just like, hey, you know, you seem cool, you know, if you want to get
what kind of tip,
go out or something like that. I forgot, you know.
Yeah.
You ever want to, like, you know, go in on a lambskin together, you know? I've got.
Yeah, I think the best way to do it is you don't want to put someone in a position where, like, if you ask them for their phone number, it's like a weird position where it's like, because you're at work, you kind of feel like you have to. So I think just kind of putting it out there and be like, hey, if you're interested in this thing, you know, whatever. And then if not, you kind of go.
No one does phone numbers anymore. They do. I mean, if I was to do it, I would probably talk about an event or something. I mean, there's no events to go to anymore, but like
you just
say something you're doing, and then maybe they want to go to that or something.
Yeah.
You just write at Doug Pound, you know, Twitter, Instagram. Website is dougpound.com. You know, I've got a new album out.
All my socials, all of that stuff.
It's like, I got you say Ask Dad t-shirts at, and then you put the link there for that. Yeah.
Here's my merch. If you're not interested in, like, you know, sending me a DM, you might as well get some merch, you know.
Or
if you just put the link tree.
You just put your Patreon on it, and you're like, if you want to comment, I mean, you do have to become a patron to message,
Right.
but like, I think that's a good way to do
Patron. Like, look, I've been a patron at this coffee shop for years, and you know my tips are good. And if you want to talk to me, you know, check out my Patreon. It's
you got to
it starts off at $2 a month. I mean, you get
but in order to talk to me, you got to do the $10 tier. Like, I only respond to the $10 tier, so you know, you got to get that. But then we can maybe get something going, and you know.
And is it if they do that and they message you, but it kind of feels like they're just like not being serious about it? Are they Patreonizing you?
Right, exactly.
I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
No, it's true.
Also, you could put I don't know if all the dating services are like this now, but you could put on the slip your address and be like, hey, I'm here. So if you open up Tinder and put in a 3-mile radius, maybe we can find each other and then we can message. But
there you go.
That's one way. Because actually, I did. My wife, we found each other. Not found, but we started dating because of Tinder. But at this point, is Tinder? I know it's like Bumble. Like, what's the world looking like, guys? I don't know. Is it Bumble now? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't do good on those apps. I dip into there once in a while, but it's like, it's always like, they seem like so many fake accounts that are always like, add me on Snapchat or something.
Okay.
Well, look, I mean, wait, are you going to shave this beard or what? What's going on?
Are you talking to Doug or me?
I'm talking
Am I
to
going to
Doug,
shave?
man.
Did you say, am I going to shave his beard?
Yeah,
Yeah,
asked
Doug, are you
Doug
going to
if he
shave
has-
Zed's beard or what?
Wait, are you going to shave it live on the Poundcast today?
I mean, I would love it. I don't know if someone's done this, but like, he goes, yeah, sure. He walks out of frame and then he walks like right into my, like we're actually like next to each other.
Or I go like this with the clippers and it like shows up in his frame.
Right.
Like this arm comes in from the side.
That'd be cool.
Wait, who was that? Spike Jones who did that skate video where it's like with the skateboards? Do you know what I'm talking about?
But he did a skate video with the skateboards, but can you be more?
Oh, sorry. Where he throws someone would throw the skateboard out of frame and then it would cut to a new frame and the person would catch it. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that from Video Days? The blind.
I forget what it's called, but anyways, this kind of seems like a fun like extension of that, like kind of using Zoom as like a guys. I think you're onto something here. That's what I'm saying. Like I think you can monetize this really great idea that you just came up with. I think there's something there.
I mean, Brent, I've been meaning to tell you, but I think we should do some kind of Pound House Zoom episode. But
I actually been talking to Spencer. Spencer about maybe doing like some kind of sketch.
Which Spencer?
Huh? Sir Spence.
Oh, cool.
Talking to him about maybe trying to do some sort of sketch through Zoom.
Why don't you talk to me?
I've said, I actually mentioned it to you a long time ago. I would love to. Let's do a sketch.
Or at least, I mean, you could have at least mentioned it to me, Brent.
Zed and I worked on.
Why don't you talk to your longtime collaborator and not some Sir Spence kid?
Well, what happened was with Sir Spence is I just wanted to compliment him on a video he made that I thought was really funny.
Which one?
Well, there was this video about it's about this incel guy teaching. Oh wait, how's it go? He's teaching. It's a simp living with an incel, and the end of the video cracked me up. I mean, the whole video is funny actually, but it's just this really funny video, and it was done really well. It felt like a reality show, like a real reality show. And anyway, I was just complimenting on him that, and then he said, "Oh yeah, we should do something." That's how it came about. The purpose was to just compliment him. But anyway, we should be doing some sketch stuff. And Zed.
Well, no, I'm kidding. Sir Spence is great. You should do a video with him.
Another idea in this realm is, I guess, Brent, you have like a squirt gun or something, and you're shooting it, and then it's actually you're getting sprayed in the face, Doug.
Like, you mean semen?
Yeah, I guess it could be semen. I don't think. To answer the question, I think I'm going to do some like trimming because it kind of comes out on the bottom a little bit, but I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of it. I like having a beard just because, to kind of go back to the very beginning with like necklaces and jewelry, I just really like low maintenance. I just like to wake up, put my clothes on, and leave the house. So the idea of like always putting on the necklace or having to like do my beard is the smallest amount of anything I can do is like ideal.
Now, do you shave these little parts here?
No, although sometimes I do get a few like singles that will come out, and I'll like trim those because it looks kind of like some stragglers. But yeah, it does grow in like that, which is kind of weird.
That's cool.
That's like kind of like some kind of Duke or something like that.
You ever think about just shaving around? So you got the mustache and then like the goatee, and then that style, or maybe like System of a Down beard, where it's like just like a long goatee.
I've definitely like done it like where I was like getting rid of the whole thing. You do some like kind of like goofy ones before you get rid of it. I did have this thing for a little bit. Too many women were kind of interested in me when I would do it. What's up?
How come Honor hasn't cut your hair?
I don't. Well, I haven't asked her. My sister cuts hair.
Well, how come you haven't had to get cut?
Well, because she lives up in the Bay.
Well, what's up?
Well, the issue is, so my hair is longer than it's ever been. I don't know if you guys know.
I know. When are you
about
going to
this.
cut it and why? Why are you letting it go?
Well, I got to cut a little bit because like the last, like, I want to say inch, it feels like dead.
Oh, you got split ends. What are you, Zed
think.
Cutsinger?
Oh,
Zed Cutsinger.
actually, that is my name, Zed Cutsinger. Yeah, I do need to kind of do it, but I guess I could ask her, Brent. It's one of those situations where
You're scared of what she'll say.
Yeah, like I need her to bring it up.
Yeah. You don't want to piss her off, right?
Yeah, it's like, I'll put it out. Maybe I'll say, hey, it would be cool if like if my wife would cut my hair. Like I'll put it out there, and then if she wants to pick it up, maybe I'll put it on like a piece of paper, like checkout style.
Well, maybe just put on a piece of paper "help" and see what she's. Maybe she'll interpret that and know what you're talking about. But check this out, dude. There's more to talk about with you because I wanted to talk about you. Zed has this interesting this concept that he had been floating around a while about time. But here's the thing: we're kind of out of time on this on the regular episode. Is the thing, but.
Zed, do you know about the bonus half hour we do? You cool with hanging out?
Dude, hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell
all
yeah,
right. Well, cool. Well, then look, if we're gonna wrap it up, but look, we'll wrap up this main episode. But is there anything you want to plug?
We
already kind of mentioned it, but you have a couple different podcasts.
Yeah. So I have 2 podcasts, Male Gaze, kind of news, current events focused. If you're more into the movie tip, Views from the Vista, and I actually just acted in a music video for Touche Amore. So it's like a band on Epitaph. Check it out, their new music video. And the singer of the band is going to be a guest on Views from the Vista this week, Jeremy Bolm. So kind of check that out. We're doing the movie Ghost. I don't know if you guys
cool.
Yeah. Kind of fire up the kiln, kind of hang out with the ghost. And then beyond that, Zed Cutsinger on all socials, including Letterboxd if you're into the movie fair.
Yeah. How many movies have you seen on Letterboxd at this point?
How
many do you have entered?
I just hit 2,100, which isn't that many, but I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Do you think that that's accurate? Do you think that's every movie you've seen, or do you think that you're missing some because it's hard to kind of do that?
So what I did is I backlogged a lot of movies that I had seen, but then there were some I feel like if I don't remember seeing it, and even if I had seen it, I'm like, I don't know if I should include that.
Right.
At a certain point. But there's tons I've seen as kids that I didn't really include. But I mean, I know someone who's like, oh, I don't want to backlog. I just want to go forward with it. But I have this friend on it who I think he's at over 7,000. So there's people that are kind of wild style.
Well, I want to ask you about more movies. We'll get into it. But
I mean, not only are we going to ask about movie, we're going to also you got to hear he's got this revolutionary idea about time. We'll talk about that though, about clocks and stuff. We'll talk about that. But
I wanted to bring it up this, but I was like, it'll come up organically. So I'm glad we're gonna
at one point you kind of, I'm just going to force the issue.
Hell yeah.
Okay. But also, another thing you could check out that Zed came up. He came. There's a fake commercial that that we made, and it was Zed's original idea, and it's called Facebook Commercial 1995. It's on YouTube, and that was
that one went way viral.
That's
that was Zed's idea, but
yeah, it was so fun to collaborate on that. I was actually kind of bummed after we finished it, where I was like, what are we doing next? And then we just didn't do anything.
Hey, let's come up with a new idea, man. Zoom style.
All right, Zoom style.
All right. Well, if you want to continue listening, be sure to subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Poundcast. And
also,
a couple other things. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/DougPound. And if you want to buy some merch, DougPound.BigCartel.com. Get your Ass to Dad shirts, get your pins, get your socks. There's some socks left. Check those links out.
And also, did you want to say anything do you want people to follow you on anything?
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking to Zed here, but.
Oh, well, he said Zed Cutsinger on all the socials.
Oh, you did say that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Including
of course, follow Doug Pound on all the socials. LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I got Brent Weinbach Comedy on Instagram and Brent Weinbach on Twitter, and you can do, if you're into video game music, I got a video game music podcast called Legacy Music Hour. Lots of episodes.
And finally, we would like to thank our interns,
Chloe Bonilla, Jack Birch, who is El Bircho on social media, Instagram and YouTube, El Bircho, and Nathan. I'm not sure if Nathan's cool with the last name, but we'll say Nathan for now. But then, I think I can't remember actually. Maybe let me see if he got back to me actually. Oh yeah. Nathan Pittman, and I don't know about Jackie though, but Jackie is the other. So yeah.
Also, shout out to Bouncy Boy 808 for doing today's Poundcast remix. Of course,
Yes.
If you're on the Patreon, you will get the stems, and you can make your own Poundcast remix.
And that's right.
We will see you next week. Where?
Right here on the Poundcast.
Peace.
Wait, no, look, it's like this. Wait, hold on.
Right here?
Right here on the Poundcast.
Welcome to the cast. Welcome to the cast. Got a pound. Got a pound cast. My pound cast. Welcome to the cast. Got a pound cast. Pound cast. Welcome to the cast. Welcome to the cast.